Hello and welcome once again to UOCTV, the student-run show just for the University of Cumbria. And once again, I'm back in the studio and my name is still Finn H Drude.
And once again, I'm Chris Robinson.
That's absolutely right, and because Chris did such a good job with that lovable rogue Paul Kemp on the last show, we thought that this week we'd bring him back and see if he could keep up with UOCTV's true top brass.
So here I am with Paul's better half and true guru in the mist. Finn H Drude.
Oh, thank you very much for introducing me again, Chris. So kind of you. But anyway, you know how awesome we are, and we definitely know how awesome we are. So enough about us, and let's see what's happening on today's show.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
Tom Dorsett took a look at Carlisle's farmers market.
We get some student opinions on the late Baroness Thatcher.
Chris McGeorge joins us in the studio to tell us about his upcoming novel.
I went along to the opening night of the Carlisle Photo Festival.
And then it's back to Tom to round up with our What's On guide.
Now, with it being the Easter holidays recently, we've been unable to bring you a show the last couple of weeks, but that doesn't mean that we shut up shop completely.
And with UOCTV being the happy family it is, there were still a few faces about checking out what's been happening in the local area.
Yeah, there were indeed. So we sent Rising Star reporter and cultural commentator Tom Dorsett to take a look at Carlisle's monthly farmers market.
And he spoke to some of the stall owners and shoppers and had a general look at some of the local produce on offer.
Yeah, and let's see what he got up to.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Hello there, it's me, that lad that does that What's On guide for UOCTV, and today we're here at Carlisle's annual farmers market, and hopefully that means he's going to do some proper good grub.
We're one of the only producers to produce this range of pies here, all handcrafted, locally crafted in the Lake District, and here today for the good people of Carlisle.
We're not normal butchers, we're like a specialist butchers. We do all game, we do pheasants, mallards, partridge, kangaroo steaks, bison steaks, springboks, ostrich, venison, everything wild.
I think we're fairly unique in the Lake District. We make all our own granola. It's probably the best that there is available in the country. It's no sugar, no salt, no additives, no preservatives, no E-numbers in there whatsoever. Completely natural, all handmade.
When people that comes, they'll ask if there's any horse meat in here. I'll say no, there isn't. It's all our own. And they are coming back to the farmers market. You can see the farmers market's going up all the time.
The people who run the stalls here aren't necessarily farmers or pie makers or sausage makers. A lot of them have had previous careers, and I think it's good to come down and talk to some of these people about maybe what they used to do, maybe what they can do nowadays, things like that.
Spend all your money on granola. Vodka's no good for you.
Granola is better than vodka, but does it taste as good?
Probably quite nice with vodka, and it does taste a lot better than vodka.
I think it's a nice place to come, and it's also good for local people to come down and support local businesses as well, rather than buying a pie from Greggs or going to Tesco's or something like that. It's all about buying local, supporting the local economy.
So that's it from Carlisle Farmers Market today. We've met some good local people with some good local produce. I recommend everybody comes down to the market more often, and you can do that every first Friday of every month. I've been Tom Dorsett, back to the studio.
Well, it looks like Tom had himself a good time and made a few new friends there.
Yeah, and if you missed the farmers market, but you like the look of the produce on offer, then fear not. They'll be returning soon, and you can find more details using the link below.
Now, here at UOCTV, we like to take a look at things that are happening in the local area, but we also like to take a look at and keep up with the national news as well.
Yes, we do. So with the death of Margaret Thatcher being so dominant in the media at the moment, we thought we'd ask some of the students here at university for their thoughts on the Iron Lady.
But before we do, we'd just like to remind everyone that the views here expressed in this item are those of the individuals and not those of here at UOCTV.
Yes, so now the legal stuff's out of the way.
Yep.
Let's have a look what people have to say.
Have a see.
Hello, I'm Jerome Nichols, and we're here today at the Brampton Road campus to ask students on their opinions of late Baroness Margaret Thatcher. Let's see what they had to say. Do you think Margaret Thatcher deserved to have a ceremonial funeral worth 10 million?
10 million? Well, no, she was such a divisive leader and at the time, and there's such a recession on and the economy is that bad. It's just ridiculous to be spending that much money on a leader that's sort of hated about as many people as she's liked. So
she wasn't a current politician. It should have just been a small family burial because I don't believe what she did was worth, celebrating.
When Prime Ministers retire, they still get Prime Minister's salary up until they're dead, so even that's a bit too much.
People deserve a funeral, but I don't think it deserved the whole flashiness of it and everyone get the Queen going and stuff like that.
I think it was a farce. There wasn't really a national consensus to warrant one. Over half the people in the country hated her. So why does she deserve a state funeral?
What did you think of the campaign to get Ding Dong the Witch is Dead to #1?
Yeah, I thought that was great. I downloaded it because I thought it was quite funny. It was a good laugh.
I just think it was a bit inconsiderate, to be honest, because this woman has a family, and I think people need to respect that family.
I like this one. I think the BBC made a poor decision, however. I mean, they should have just played it or not played it, because playing 5 seconds, no one's happy, are they?
I thought it was maybe the only way for people to actually express their dissatisfaction at the state funeral.
It doesn't harm her, it might harm her family and stuff like that, but at the end of the day it's a song and it's everyone's interpretation of it.
I never downloaded it myself, but they could have picked there's so many great anti-Thatcher songs, they couldn't have picked a good one.
What did you think of the media coverage surrounding her death?
Some of it's needed, it is quite important, but it shouldn't have been as big as it was.
I like the media coverage because the BBC were actually getting in trouble for stirring stuff up on purpose to make it out that not to forget there is people.
Just one of those things, she died, some people are happy, some people are sad. Margaret Thatcher, Marmite, so there you are.
It's been a bit varied. I mean, you watch the BBC, it's been pretty, you get folk accusing that have been biased against her or biased for her, but I think they're just talking about her too much.
Students' opinions have been surprisingly tame, but the general consensus is that the state-funded funeral was unnecessary and the media coverage was excessive. Having said that, she will remain a decisive figure in history books in years to come. Back to the studio.
There's quite a few strong views there, but it's good to see that people want to voice their opinions.
Yes, and two people that we know are very good at voicing their own opinions are our resident film critics, Chris McGeorge and James Norfolk.
Regular viewers of the show will know that we occasionally feature their reviews of recent film releases, but it turns out they do more than just hang out at the cinema.
They are, in fact, both very keen writers, and James has been busy writing a comic book series, and Chris is about to release his first novel on Amazon Kindle.
So, Chris is here now to talk to us about his novel, The Dog That Turned Into a Cat.
So, Chris, welcome to the show.
How are you doing?
Hi.
How are you doing today?
It's nice to be here.
Yeah, it is. It's
nice
very nice to have you in the studio today.
So,
yeah.
what's it about?
What is your book about?
Absolutely, yeah. What's it about?
Right, this is my debut novel. It's called The Dog That Turned Into a Cat. It's all about this young 11-year-old boy. His name's Connor, and he's in love with this girl at his school, so he writes a story for her called The Dog That Turned Into a Cat, and he dedicates it to her when he reads it out in class. Unfortunately, this goes terribly wrong, and she ends up laughing in his face. And Cara's actually Scottish, so Connor decides that his best plan of action to never see Cara again, never let her hurt him again, is to dig a trench between England and Scotland. And along the way, he meets people. Some people sort of get what he's doing and sort of join him in digging this trench, and it goes badly, really, obviously, because it would. It's kind of about the unreasonable expectations that kids have about sort of love and stuff like that, sort of Disney princes and stuff like that, which I don't think that kind of representation of love is showed as much as sort of the happy endings and everything.
Where did the idea come from? Is it kind of based on your own experience?
I set out to, well, obviously, everyone's had people that they've liked and not been liked back, and and maybe harshly so. It's very literal for Connor, but it's very sort of metaphorical for us, for modern times, hopefully.
How does someone who goes to university suddenly end up publishing a book on Amazon?
Amazon Kindles and iPads and stuff, it's become more accessible for anyone really to become a published person and, you know, get success from it. The 50 Shades books actually started on Kindle and would never have been a success without that. It's a nice world we live in now, which is a flip side for what, you know, I'm sitting here right now because I just pressed a button. It's unbelievable.
So is it literally you decide I'm going to put it on Amazon Kindle and then you do it, or is there kind of an application process that you have to go through?
There's definitely an application process. I think I decided 3 or 4 months ago that I wanted to do this, and it was very, very quick after that.
Where and how can people get hold of it?
The Dog That Turned Into a Cat is on Amazon Kindle, and you can purchase it 30th of April.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Good luck with the book. I'm definitely going to read it.
Oh,
definitely going to read it next week when it comes out. Good luck with that. Thank you very much. And if you want to find out more about Chris's novel, you can do that by checking out the Facebook page using the link below.
Now, a few weeks ago, we had 2 of the founders of the Carlisle Photo Festival here on the show telling us how to submit photos and what we had to look forward to.
Yeah, and well, they got flooded with entries, but they've whittled them down and the festival is open and is taking place in Carlisle, actually right now, as we speak. Yeah.
Naturally, with any event of this prestige, UOCTV were invited to attend the opening night of the festival, and who better to send than the part sat right next to me, Finn H Drude.
Thank you for that, Chris, thank you. Well, there was a lot of interesting photos and between you and me, a lot of very interesting photographers as well to talk about. So let's have a look at what I did. Yeah.
So as spring has finally arrived in Carlisle, so has the Carlisle Photography Festival. And I'm tonight at one of the 5 venues, and this is the old post office down at Warwick Road. And it's opening night tonight, so there are a lot of people here, a lot of really nice pictures, a lot of free booze as well. That's the main reason why I'm here. So I'm going to have a look around, talk to some of the artists, and just enjoy myself.
It started last year as we were doing our second year exhibitions at the university, and I brought all of our 5 venues together under one name called the Carlisle Photo Festival.
I was one of the people that set it up last year, so it's a continuation for me being in it again, and it's quite nice to see a lot of international, national people that weren't involved last year coming in and joining in, so it's quite exciting.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, over the last few years I've been going to, you know, the festivals in Derby and Liverpool, and this almost feels like that. Obviously it's a smaller scale, but it feels exactly the same.
This year it seems to be a lot bigger, and a lot of people have heard about it more, and I think maybe because we've got international photographers. But it was really nice last year. It was a lot smaller, and we exhibited in the house. But this time it feels more professional, and it just feels really good, and I'm really happy to be part of it.
We're not allowed to use a white wall gallery space, the usual kind of setting, so it was taking photography out of those gallery settings and putting it somewhere that's maybe a bit more accessible for people that wouldn't really like to go to gallery settings, and getting other people in the community involved and interested in photography.
I certainly think that it adds something to the sort of cultural impetus in Carlisle. It's desperately needed here, and if it gets people in, and if it gets people interested, it brings money in, it brings interest and, you know, creativeness into the area. That's what we need, really. We need that interest. I think this goes some way towards that.
We've got people from Manchester and all you know, from photography networks that have come here specifically, and you know, you get these networking opportunities, which is brilliant. That sometimes Carlisle can be a little bit isolated, so to have something like this that creates these networking opportunities is, you know, invaluable. So.
well, all good things end, and so do opening night, so people start to leave now. But as I said, there are 5 venues all over Carlisle showing amazing photographies until the end of this week. So I'm sure there's one venue really close to you. Go there, check it out. As always, I am Finn H Drude, reporting for UOCTV. Back to the studio. The Photo Festival finishes this weekend, so if you're quick, there's still time to check it out. And you can find more using the details below.
But if that's still not enough for you, then fear not. Our man about town, Tom Dorsett, has been finding out what else is happening soon.
Yes, and that can only mean it's time for our What's On guide. Take it away, Tom.
The University of Cumbria Aquathon will be held on April the 27th at Moreton Pool. The event is £4 to enter and all entrants must register before 11:30 a.m. The event will begin at 1 p.m. with all money raised going to Eden Valley Hospice, and everyone who enters gets free entry to concrete. On the 10th of May, the Sand Centre will be holding their annual squash tournament. Players will be entered into leagues of similar abilities, with all players getting at least 3 games. The event will begin at 6 p.m. and cost £8 to take part, and entries have to be in by the 26th of April. On Saturday the 27th of April, the Brickyard Team's former X Factor contestant Lucy Spraggan perform on her first professional tour, having captivated the country with her hip-hop influenced acoustic music. Doors will open at 8 p.m. and admission is £8 in advance. Club Rock is proud to announce the second of its open mic nights on Thursday the 23rd of April. Doors will open at 7 p.m. and with free entry all night. The event will be followed by DJ J String's hip-hop set. And finally, on Thursday the 2nd of May, the Source Collective in Dendenholm will be hosting their monthly spoken word event, Speakeasy. The event will begin at 8 p.m. and will feature local musicians as well as spoken word performers. I've been Tom Dorsett, and that was your What's On guide. Back to the studio.
And that brings us to the end of the show.
But just before you go, we're always looking for new stories, so if you've got an idea of something you think we should cover, send us an email and tell us about it.
Yes, and we're also still looking for people to join our big and happy family here at UOCTV. So if you fancy sitting in the studio with one of us,
or if you fancy reporting from an event or interviewing someone, get in contact with us. You can drop us an email or you can reach us on either Facebook or Twitter. The details should be below.
And because we all like to indulge ourselves in a bit of shameless self-promotion here at UOCTV, if you're not following either of us on Twitter, our details are below.
Now, you know what, I think I'm going to go and check out the rest of that photo festival.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
it's really good. I enjoyed it. And well, I'm off back home to Germany for a couple of weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
Well, it's a goodbye from me, and I guess a big heartfelt goodbye from you then.
Yeah, certainly is, but fret not, dear audience. I will be back. I'm not going forever, but for now, goodbye.
Goodbye.